So here, Lina, we are given a diagram. They say which we are given PQR. Okay? Now, let's ask this question, Lina. Is this a right angle triangle? It's not a right angle triangle. Okay? Now, if it's not a right angle triangle, then it means, agree, we said no. For the fact that we said no, it means which we went in this direction. Okay? Now, if it's not a right angle triangle, then it means which we can use the sine rule or we can use the what then? The cosine rule. Okay? Now, when do we use the sine rule? We said we're almost going to use the sine rule almost all the time. Okay? But now I think it's safe for learners to know the following. For you to make it simple for you to use the cos rule, most of the time it's if you have two angles. If you have two angles and then you want a side, then it makes it simple for you to calculate a side using the sine rule. Otherwise, we're going to use the cos rule. Let's come and check which one do we use the cos rule. Cos rules, we are going to use the cos rule if we are given no angles. If there are no angles, again, we are going to ask ourselves if there are no angles. Again, if you're only given sides, if let's say you're given a triangle, and then on the triangle you are given this side, and then you are given this side, and then also given this side, it makes sense for you to use the cos rule. And then when again are you going to use the cos rule? You're going to also use the cos rule if you are given this side, and then you're given the angle between. It's called the included angle. Again. So you have this side, and then you also have this side, and then you have the included angle. We use the cos rule. Is it fine? Okay, let's come and check the following then. If we look at the following here, Lynn, which one should we use? Should we use the sine rule or the cos rule? We're going to use the cos rule again. What does the cos rule say? It says which we have a squared again, which is going to be equaling to b squared again, plus c squared minus 2bc. And then it says which is going to be the cos of what? Of A. Now, if you start with this, if you have the angle A, again, you're going to start with the side with the small letter what? A. Okay, we need to rewrite this diagram here because it doesn't have A, B, C, again, so that it has small letters now. So if you want this to have small letters, let's go and do it. Again, this one here, we're going to say it's P, capital letter P. What is going to be this side? This is going to be small letter P, again. Okay, if this one here is Q, what is going to be this side here? This is going to be small letter Q. Okay, if this one here is R, what is going to be this side here? Small letter R again. And then according to this thing, they are saying which if you have an angle A, you are going to start with the small side A again. So Tina, what are we going to start with here? Because we have angle P. What should I start with here? I'm going to start with small letter P again. And then it says P squared is going to be equaling to, it's going to be Q squared again, plus R squared again, minus 2. What should I write here? Q R cos of what? Of P. Okay, now we can come and say to them, okay, but guys, PR, this QR here, what is this QR here? This QR here is P. Okay? So instead of writing it as P, I can write it as what? As QR all squared. Okay? Now we know what is Q. Come and check what is Q here. It's 9,2. No? So we'll come and put with this one here, it's 9,2 all squared, plus what is R squared? It's 3. This is all squared, minus 2, okay? Multiplied by 9,2, okay? Multiplied by 3, okay? And then it says, this is going to be the cos of what? What is P? It's the capital letter, yeah, the one that we have here, yeah. It's capital letter, yeah. So we have put an angle, then it's going to be 67 again. Okay, we're looking for QR, Christine. If we're looking for QR, we're going to square both sides. If we square both sides, and then we simply type this thing exactly the way it is. So we're going to have something like this. Agree we have root. Assist me there while we are doing it. Okay. Let me just clear my calculator. You can just clear your calculator if you are not sure, so that you are on the safe side always. And then your calculator is cleared. You press shift and then you press 9 again. And then you press equals to clear your calculator. So I'm going to have root. And then it says root, I am going to have 9,2 all squared again, plus 3. And then this is all squared again, minus 2 multiplied by 9,2 multiplied by 3 multiplied by the cos of 67, close bracket again. And then you see what we've already put the root again. So we already have the root. So we're simply just going to say equals to whatever we get there is going to be our answer. So what is going to be our QR, Lina? It's 8,49 again. Now we need to round off this thing to 2 decimal places unless otherwise again. So how to round off to 2 decimal places? You will press shift and then you say set up again. And then you say fix this thing here. If you fix this thing and then you say 2, it says good, this thing here is going to be 8,49. And then agree this thing here is given in centimeter. Now you need to come and say good, this thing here is going to be centimeters. Then this thing here is going to be 2 marks. You get 1 and then you get what? 2 here. I will still together, guys. Okay. Let's go to the next question then. The next question, they say we should calculate R again. Now, before we calculate R, we're going to update our diagram. If we update our diagram, it says it says which we're going to have 8,49 centimeter. And then they say which we should determine which what is going to be this angle here. Okay, what is going to be this angle here? Okay, Lynn. You see now, a diagram here is updated. Okay? Because our diagram is updated, then we'll say we want to get an angle. If we want to get an angle, we can use the sine rule. Okay, now we have this side, we have this side, also have this side. Now we can get this angle here using a sine rule, or we can use the cos rule. Now let's just go and say what does the sine rule say? I can hear you a small letter P. What does the sine rule say? The sine rule says which you are going to have the sine of A all over small letter A, which is going to be equal to the sine of B all over small letter B, which is going to be equal to the sine of C all over small letter what? Small letter C. Okay. Now, using this triangle here, because we don't have triangle ABC, this is if you have triangle ABC. If you have triangle ABC, you can use this one. What happens if you have triangle PQR then? How is this thing going to be written? It's going to be written this way. If you have triangle PQR, you are going to have the sine of capital letter P all over small letter p, which is going to be equal to the sine of Q all over small letter q, okay? Which is going to be equal to the sine of capital letter R all over small letter what? R. Okay, now what you want to do here is to do the following. Again, when you're looking for R, if you're looking for R here, you can go and substitute here. Let's go and substitute for this thing here. Do we know what is P? You know what is P again? What is P? What is P? 67. Okay, let's put it here so that you see. Okay, we're going to write this thing as the sine of 67 again, all over. Do you know what is small letter P? You know what is small letter P? What is small letter P? It's 8,49. Okay, this is going to be equal to sine. Do you know what is Q? Do you know what is Q here? You don't know. So we'll simply write this as sine of Q. All over. Do you know what is small letter Q? Do you know what is small letter Q? Okay, you know what is small letter Q. So we'll come and put which this is 9,2. Okay, equals to. Then you have the sine of R again. Do you know what is R? R is what we are looking for again. Okay. And then do you know what is small letter R? You know what is small letter R? What is small letter R? It's 3. Now from this combination here, Lynn, we are just going to choose 2 combinations. The one that we are looking for. This one is the one that we are looking for again. And the one that has more information, the one that has all the information. So you are going to take this one or this one. Let's call this one number 1, and then let's call this one number 2. Which one are you going to take? You are going to take number 1. So you see this, guys, you are going to take number 1, which is going to go with whatever it is that we are looking for. So we are going to take number 1, and then it's going to go with whatever it is that we are looking for. We are looking for the sine of R. This thing here, we're looking for R here. Okay, since we are looking for R, then we are going to say, okay, but now sine of 67 all over 8,49. And then we just remove this one of Q because the information is not enough then. And then it's going to be given as the sine of R all over 3. Okay. If you do this, then what are you going to have? You are going to say we want R. What should I do here if I want to get R? So we're going to cross multiply. If you cross multiply, it says which is 3 multiplied by the sine of 67 all over 8,49 again, which is going to be equal to the what? To the sine of R. You want R, Lynn. What is the next thing that you would do here? If you want to get R here, how would you get R on its own here? You can put sine arc. Okay? Yeah, if you put sine arc, then you're going to have something like this. So you're going to have R, which is going to be given by the sine arc. Okay? And then this is going to be 3 multiplied by the sine of 67 all over 8,49. To avoid making mistakes, guys, make sure you can just round off the final answer. So you see here, I didn't type this thing here because I'm avoiding a mistake, which now you want to round off this thing here. So what you're going to do here is to type this thing exactly the way it is. If you type this thing exactly the way it is, what is it that you're going to have? Let's go and check. So you're going to have, I think you say shift, and then you say sine arc. Okay? And then if you say sine arc there, then you say fraction, and then you say 3 multiplied by the sine of 67, and then you close the bracket, all over 8,49. And then you go and close the bracket. If you close the bracket, it tells you which one is going to be R. It says which R is going to be equaling to 18,98. So this is going to be 18,98. And then this is an angle. This is going to be what, degrees. So you can come and say, okay, this one here is going to be 18,98. And then for you to do something like this, we are going to have a 1, and then it's 2, and then it's 3. And then we can come and do the following. Let's check here. Thank you. Let's give Lina a round of applause, guys. I'm coming to you for it's you are noted. I just want to give you the activity. We're going to do activity number 5, if I'm not mistaken. Let's check here. Yeah, we're going to do activity number 5. This one. And you're going to do activity number 4. Sorry about that. Please, you're going to do activity number 4. As a classwork, you are supposed to do activity number 4. Okay. Let me do this.